Welcome to the Comic Corner. My name is Damon. I am your host. What we do is comic book news, reviews, and interviews. And today we got a duo. It is myself and TJ out on the West Coast. We are not recording at like 7 a.m. your time today. We both had our days. You can tell it's a little darker here in this office today. TJ, good evening, afternoon.
Good evening, my friend. It's weird being here so late, but it's nice. I had some time to catch up a little bit. I am embarrassingly behind on all my books, but luckily I was able to get in everything we needed for today, so it's exciting times, man.
So you're behind, but not totally behind, because we are going to catch you all up
Yes.
on some of the biggest issues that came out this week, including Enter Ultimate Namor, the Ultimates number 10? Looking behind me, 10 came out this week, and not only do we see Enter Ultimate Namor, but it's Enter Ultimate a lot. God, I love that Ultimates book. We will chat about it. When worlds collide, it's not just a world of Doctor Strange and Thor. It is my world and your world colliding as well, because it's not too often you get Strange. It's not too often I get a little godly. So it's actually a really fun book that we both get to talk about. Doctor Strange of Asgard, and down the road, down goes another volume of Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch Volume 3 coming to a close, because Volume 4 is going to be coming out soon with Scarlet Witch and Vision. But there is a really cool reveal, y'all. A really cool reveal that I love here in this Scarlet Witch number 10 finale from Steve Orlando that included the origin of Amaranth, her apprentice, and if you are a Scarlet Witch fan and you know what Scarlet Witch books I like, then you may know that there may be a little bit of connection here. We'll chat about that. But first, TJ, I don't know if you saw this. We got a new Daredevil book that's coming out in like a month, and this just came out of nowhere.
I'm so excited. Sorry, everyone, if that was loud in your headphones, but I literally just saw this. Yes, we were just talking. I just did a piece about Muse, so while I was doing my research for that, I came across this, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I need this in my face right this second." We just talked about, I admittedly am behind a little bit on the current Daredevil run, but I was a little on the fence of that series. So this, I'm really excited about this.
This has been described, fascinatingly enough, this has been described as Daredevil's Dark Knight Returns. This is from Charles Soule and Steve McNiven. Look, this is essentially a story of a future Matt who is old. He lost his powers, but they're back, type of thing. And now he's an old man, and he's going out to do old man Daredevil things. I am so fascinated by this. You're pulling this, right? This is coming out in a month, April 2nd. This is a shocker.
Yes, I'm pulling this. I'm a sucker for a lot of things. And another one of those things is like the old man trope, like old man Logan, old man Hawkeye, old man Peter Quill. Like, I love that stuff. I always love to see a character you think you know who's like gone like old and grizzled and is like, kind of like Cap in the Twilight series. I love that kind of stuff. So I am so interested. Like, I feel like Daredevil's an interesting character to do it with too. Cause it's like, bro, you're already blind and now you're old. So like, I'm excited to see how they play with that.
I think it's also fascinating. I mean, you read the Old Man Hawkeye, which kind of takes place in its own universe, that Wastelanders universe. I don't know if you listen to that Old Man Quill podcast that Marvel did a couple of years ago, which is genuinely fantastic.
I didn't know
it
that
continues.
Existed.
Yeah, so Marvel did like a whole Wastelanders podcast series telling stories of that Wastelanders universe through a variety of different characters, and one of them was Quill. But in the Old Man Hawkeye, we do see like an old man Daredevil in there who just like Hawkeye became blind, Daredevil had already been blind. So they kind of have like a little bit of a teaching moment, but this is its own thing, and I'm so excited for it. Great time for it. I know everyone's very excited about Daredevil, about the show that just came out. You can catch all our thoughts and opinions every week live when those episodes drop. About an hour. So when you finish watching them, you can come watch us live, or you can watch them on demand. We have so many thoughts on it. I really enjoyed those first few episodes. So if you're more in a Daredevil type mood, perfect timing. This is a 3-issue series, by the way. Perfect just to pick it up 3 times and you get a nice, lovely, contained story. Very excited for this. Very excited for us. Go check that out. But let's talk about some comics that came out this week. You know what's funny? It was like last week we had like that whole debate on Wanda, right? And that 616 Wanda, and we recorded that on Thursday, and then the next day the truth came out about it, but we were right to be skeptical, which is very fun.
Feige immediately got on the... It was like, no!
Heard about it immediately, went, nope.
They were quick on that. Which I think that dude just made a genuine mistake. And, like, I honestly would not be surprised if that was to have her be the same. And, again, they were just like, nah, dude, you can't fucking do it.
All right, let's talk about my favorite book of this week. And consistently, we have been hoisting up, parading around this series. This is the Ultimates issue number 10 came out. This is written by Denys Camp, artist Juan Frigeri, colorist Federico Blee, and letterer Travis Lanham. Where we are now from the big reveal in the previous issue 9, spoiler, Tony Stark is alive. He is recuperating. He is actually doing a lot better now than I was expecting him to be at this point in the story.
Yeah, he's chilling.
And the Ultimates are out. He's chilling. He's not fully done yet, but he's getting worked on. And the Ultimates are out doing what the Ultimates do, and they are going after a Red Skull / Nazi / Punisher camp. It is wild, the amount of different elements from Marvel lore we pick and pluck throughout. We get a really cool reveal of the classic, the old school Human Torch, revealed in this issue that he killed Hitler. That first page, page of this issue is just chef's kiss, hoot, holler, and a wow type of issue. Torch and Cap are after what they thought and confirmed that their old friend Namor, who helped them in World War II, is there being held. Unfortunately, as we said, hey, enter Ultimate Namor. He's pretty dead. Like, he's dead. Seems like it, at least. I think he's dead.
Come on.
I think he's dead. But the legacy of Namor, I think, will, by the end of this, foster some uproar, some hope for Atlantis by the end of this issue, because they do rescue and save him. Other very cool inclusions that they did of this, and I'm very happy I did not read the Comic Geek solicit on this, because we got the first appearance of Ultimate John Walker, who got his super soldier serum and remained with the Red Skull. So he's just evil and powerful. And also the head of the Red Skulls revealed. Did you see this reveal before it was revealed, TJ?
No, I did not.
I was trying to figure out, I'm like, who can it possibly be?
I knew
because
it,
Because Cap is looking at this guy. He's like, this guy sounds familiar. And I'm like, we already did the John Walker. Who could it be? Of course, the leader of essentially Hydra, the leader of the Red Skull, is the one and only Bucky Barnes. There is so many little things in here that I love. I, again, praise and applaud this Marvel Ultimate Universe for taking what we know and putting a twist on it, so you get that finger point moment, but also it's so well written. The use of symbols, and that's a whole point. It's the use of symbols here. A symbol lasts forever. A symbol never dies. It's a very Hydra way to put at it, but also it is the legacy character of it all, the cap of it all,
Mhm.
how they completely took over the Punisher logo and what the Punisher stood for, and they corrupted it and twisted it in a way that some people think the Punisher stands for. I thought it
Sounds
was so
familiar.
well done. Yes, I thought it was so well done. Again, my favorite issue of the week, consistently one of my favorite titles of the month. TJ, I know I just rambled on about this book. Did you enjoy it as much as I did?
Well, I'm glad you did because I agree with everything you said. I gotta say though, I told you so. I told you so so bad because
Okay.
I don't know what episode it was. Y'all can go back and watch. But I told you Bucky was still around. We talked about
Yes,
this,
you did.
and I was like, he's captured. He's for sure. And you're like, I don't know. I don't know. I told you, man. Was I expecting him to be Red Skull? No, but that was awesome. And I also just loved seeing the Human Torch finally get a little showcase because there was like a time I honestly forgot he was on the team. Like he hasn't really like had his moment, I feel. So I loved that we got at least a little bit of this issue is more centered on him.
Mhm.
And I mean, punching Nazis, man. I bring this up all the time. How can you not love that? Like it's so good. Like you said, this ultimate line is just amazing. I also want to shout out just very quickly. I didn't get to talk about issue 9 because I was behind, but issue 9 was also incredible with like the whole Luke Cage thing and him being in jail.
Yes.
Dude, oh, I love I love it so
Again,
much.
symbolism, baby.
Yes, I this book is amazing.
It's so good. It is obviously a commentary on a lot of things, but it's done smartly. It is done with care. It is done with a lot of thought and effort. And it shows not just from the story that Denise Camp puts down on the page, but also whoever the artist is on that issue, in this issue, Juan Frigeri as well, because we do get into the mind of the original Human Torch, who is a a cyborg, a robot, an android, that he's not human. So it's
Yeah.
fascinating how he says, I have to delete my memories because I'm an old computer, guys. I know I'm high tech, but also I'm an old computer. I have to delete my memories. But that first thing we talked about, that's one I keep forever. And I'm just like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And you get a little bit of that, synopsis, the text page, a Hickman style data
Mhm.
page at the end of it, too. Nice little read. And again, I do think Namor will probably remain dead, but they do say that returning Namor to the sea, the body of him, which weirdly, magically, comic bookly, did not decompose. Returning him to the sea will hopefully spark some sort of revolution because Atuma took over Atlantis, as evil things do in this universe. And hopefully that'll spark something. What will it spark? Who will it spark? Do not know yet, but I think that will be interesting when eventually we see everything boil up to the surface, all pun intended, and what that brings out. I love the series. It is such a world building book. It is the book that the Ultimate Universe not desperately, the Ultimate Universe needs to connect some things. We see some connections here as Tony Stark is looking around at all the stuff going around in the Ultimate Universe. You see things going on in Ultimate X-Men and Spider-Man and Black Panther. I love those little connections now that we are well over a year into it. Start to take shape. And a very slow boil, but it's a good one. It's great. It's like a nice, good risotto. He's laughing at that. He's like,
Who
yeah.
doesn't love a good risotto, right?
All right. Let's talk about a book that combines your world and it comes my world.
When
And
worlds
we put it,
collide.
yes, put it in the world of Asgard, in the world of gods. This is written by Derek Landy, artist Carlos Magno, colorist Espen Grunton Jarrett, and letterer Corey Pettit. This is Doctor Strange of Asgard, #1. Before
Corey
I go
Pettit,
into it,
man.
I did a
Dude's
lot of talking.
everywhere.
I did a lot of talking on the previous book. You are the Thor guy. You are
Mm,
the Asgard guru.
I
I
am.
want to hear your thoughts on this issue first.
Dude, I'm easy. I'm easy to please. I loved it, man. I mean, it's like, Strange has been in Asgard before, for
Yes, he
sure.
is.
I mean, he's been, with Odin, Thor. Like, he's no stranger to the Golden Realm, if you would say. But I just love how he's like just so centered into this. Like, he's like, oh, I need a job, basically. Like, I love that. Like, it's like kind of comical. And I mean, just seeing him use magic in Asgard, and even just like the simple stuff of like him at like the not bar, but the watering hole, like drinking with the other Vikings and stuff. It's great, man. I'll take as many of these as they'll give me. Like you said, I love a good what's the word, amalgamation of
Mhm.
themes and kind of genres. So I mean, this hits right at home for me.
Speaking mixing of genres, there's one joke in here that I got a good kick out of, and obviously Asgard has been around for forever. It's been around for eons. So the fact that they've never had a romantic comedy apparently pop up at any time gave me a good chuckle where the guy's like, yes, I am a writer, but I'm more than that. I'm trying to mix genres of romance and humor. And Strange is like, so a romantic comedy?
It's like, yes, that's it.
Pretty good. I enjoyed that a little bit. Yeah, at the very so the whole point of this, it turns out, is a little bit of a murder mystery. Loki comes up and he's like, "Hey, I'm actually gonna vouch for my guy here," but obviously it's a trap. And within the trap, Loki somehow blacks out, kills a witch, and now Strange has to find out what just happened. Loki
Love it.
does it, he comes back and he's like, "I didn't do that. Something happened." So now we are in a murder mystery in Asgard.
Yes. I love everything about it. It's comedy. You got, like you said, murder mystery, massive power. There's one splash page in here of Strange doing his magical stuff. That's amazing. Shout out Carlos Magno. He is an amazing artist. I'm trying to remember. There's a lot of books he does that are great, but there's one specifically that he just like blew my mind with. But absolutely incredible artist. So again, I'll take as many. I am curious how this. I mean, again, I'm not getting hung up on it. Who cares? But like, this is like totally not going on in the Thor, in Immortal Thor right now. So I'm guessing it's just in its own little pocket of things. But like I said, I just roll with the punches.
Timelines are weird. This could
Yeah,
be taking,
who
well,
cares?
you know, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
We're gonna have fun with it. I will say this: I was fairly skeptical going into this issue. I ended up enjoying it a lot more than I did, or a lot more than I was expecting to. So thumbs up there again. High praise to the art. I agree. The art in here was very good. The art in here was very good. So I will actually pick up the second issue of this.
You
I wasn't
have to.
expecting on it.
We
I
got to
wasn't
keep
expecting it.
covering this one
Yes.
since, like you said, it's like both our worlds. So we got to keep going on this one.
That we do. That we do. Tell me, sir, this is NYX number 9, the beginning of X Manhunt, written by Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing, The Hive Mind, artist Francesco Martorino, colorist Raul Angulo, and letterer Joe Sabino.
Love it. I'm so sad that this run is coming to an end. We just had that announcement they're ending off on 10, but they're still doing giant size X-Men, so that's also exciting. But dude, Charles Xavier, man. I say you can never trust a Reed Richards. You can never trust a Charles Xavier either. This man is such a douche. Oh my gosh. I think I'm a little behind on the current X-Men though, because last I checked, he was still chained up. So he's out though for sure.
I think
And
Uncanny or something also. Maybe
yeah,
Uncanny came first. The reading order to this, you'll have to read
and
within
I'm
the
more
issue.
behind on Uncanny than I am of Jed McKay, so that makes sense. But I mean, it's a great issue, but it's also like sad too because to me the best thing about this series has been like the kind of hopeful nature of it. Like every issue kind of takes perspective of a different young mutant, Kamala, Laura Kinney, Prodigy, and it's just again just all about like community. Like they make this whole NYX center that like is a home to all mutants, the ones that are on the run, again, like we talked about, the ones that aren't on a superhero team. Like there's a bunch of mutants out there that unfortunately don't get to suit up and go on adventures, right? So, but this issue takes that like up a notch, right? Again, Xavier, like the stakes get very high and things kind of explode outward. Like the community part like kind of gets a lot bigger. So again, it's a great book, and now that we know it's getting to 10, I see why we're kind of getting to the bombastic stuff where it was a little bit more smaller in the beginning. But yeah, I really urge people to pick this one up, especially if it's coming in a trade. Especially among the other X books, I really feel like this hits that kind of X-Men theme of, again, community and like the mutants gathering together and not necessarily following Charles's dream, but their own dreams. So 2 thumbs up.
Scarlet Witch, number 10 from Steve Orlando, artist Jacopo Camagni, and Russell Dowderman has a splash page in here. Inker Elizabeth D'Amico, colorist Frank William, and letterer Ariana Mayer. I teased this earlier, so this is the conclusion of this 3rd volume now of Steve Orlando's Scarlet Witch run, and I've really been enjoying this Amaranth stuff. I've really been fascinated on where she came from. It's been a mystery. This is a protege that was picked up by Agatha and dropped off essentially at the front door of the Scarlet Witch to say, you deal with this. And she's been a mystery. We don't know too much about her other than she kind of lost control of her powers and killed her dad or adoptive dad. We don't know much. And this is the final issue concluding where and who she is. I mentioned that this brings in one of my favorite Scarlet Witch things ever, and that is the Witch's Road. So down the road, TJ. Once upon a time, Scarlet Witch, Agatha, and the mother of Wanda Maximoff, the actual mother of Wanda Maximoff, went down the Witch's Road to save the day, where chaos and witchcraft were battling it out, and magic as a whole was in turmoil until the 3 solved the issue. And the conclusion of that is that witchcraft and chaos, in terms of their agreement, created life. And that life is Amaranth. So we bring it all the way back.
Godly level.
She is the child of literal chaos and witchcraft. But you could also say, because like Wanda played such a heavy hand in it, that she has a part in it too. So you don't want to say that she's an offspring of the Scarlet Witch, but she is definitely created because of her. And I think that is a really fascinating angle. Now, unfortunately, because this is the end of a run, and we're starting a new Scarlet Witch and Vision run, Amaranth decides to run away by the end and is now looking for a new mentor because she doesn't trust Wanda fully, and there's still some animosity there, and she's a teenager. Teenagers are going to do teenager things in the Marvel Universe. She ran away. But the fact that we bring it back to a really cool moment and actually done naturally, I thought was very well done. I actually want to see more of this Amaranth character. I don't know if that means I need to go read the New Champions, if that's going to continue this aspect of her, but I want to know who her new tutor, her new teacher, is going to be, because Agatha didn't work out, Scarlet Witch didn't work out, Wiccan, we can go that route. We can go maybe a Doctor Strange. Exactly.
I'll say he's kind of chilling right now, like we just talked about.
He needs to teach some things, or is she going to go a darker path? Or is she going to go a doctor path? There is a new Sorcerer Supreme in town.
Oh,
we could go Doom.
Dude.
We could go.
Yes.
We could go Emily Bright route, and go straight to Dormammu. There's a lot of routes. We can go in the middle, and we can go to Clea. There's a lot of routes that we can go here with this character.
I like Clea the best.
I want to see more. I want to see more. And I would love to see Steve Orlando continue to it because he has a very good hand in this universe. I also want to say one thing. to any Scarlet Witch fan who's watching this, who's a fan of Scarlet Witch and loves Scarlet Witch comics. I am so tired of power scaling debates. Every time I see Steve Orlando talk about these books, it's inevitable that a power scaling debate comes up. And I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. Your favorite character is a god. You're probably sick of all of that too.
Dude.
Right?
Don't get me started.
We're over it. We're done with it. I want to see actual discussion on plot, on character. This is a Scarlet Witch. She can do whatever the writer wants her to do, however big or however little.
Yeah.
The end.
I'm sorry to break it to all y'all out there, but every character is as powerful as the writer wants them to be. I mean, hey, I love this, and everyone out there knows. Selfless plug. Go check out our interview with Mario at Iodeli. Sorry about that. About the new Storm series. I mean, he is scaling her up like freaking crazy. And I love it. I think it's great. So, writers can do whatever they want. Everyone is going to be the strongest if a writer decides they are.
Yes. Absolutely. No, 100%. Right.
Wanda deserves it, though.
She deserves it. And it's cool to see her do crazy things, and it's cool to see her do some slower things as well. As what the very first volume was, some really down-to-earth things. So, if you want more Scarlet Witch, don't you worry. As I mentioned, Scarlet Witch and Vision is coming out in a few months.
Is that Steve still?
It is Steve still. Good. Yes, this is his
scared me there for a second, man.
Volume 4, and the plot of that, they teased it in the his little pages that he likes to leave at the end of the issues, which I love, by the way. That now it appears black doors are starting to appear all over the world, and they look very similar to the red door, but it's almost like someone took that idea and made it a little wrong. So Vision saying, hey, you want to team up, for old time's sake, and go figure this out, and that's what it's about. I like it.
If it's Steve, I'm on board. I think he's incredible. I love what he's done with Scarlet Witch. I just we don't have time to get into this, but it's just so frustrating to me that they keep restarting it. Like, I understand it's like a business thing, but it's so irritating. Like, imagine if we never had, we'd be like on issue like 50. Like,
it would be 25. It'd be 25. 25 issues, by the way, for a Scarlet Witch run is very good.
Well, that's what I mean. I feel like I don't know, again, maybe I'm just thinking too much into it, and because I am such a fan of Steve, but I feel like it almost takes away from like if you saw it as 25 issues, it's like, damn, dude's been cooking on this. But when you split it up like that, some people might not even realize that it's like the same writer each, like they're completely different series, and that's upsetting to me because it is one long story. They just keep freaking slapping a number 1 on it, and I don't know, it's a little frustrating for me.
For sure, and it makes it a little confusing. So if you do want to get into this series and you're a little confused, this is how you do it. You read the first volume, which is the Red Door Saga 1 through 10. Then we go into Scarlet Witch Quicksilver, which I think is like a 4-issue miniseries.
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, 4-issue miniseries. And then we go into this news arc, Scarlet Witch 1 through 10. Daredevil makes an appearance in this new run, by the way, this third volume, if you will. So, again, go check these out. If you're looking for more Scarlet Witch content, which I know Scarlet Witch is a very popular character, for a reason. This is it. This is your moment. Tell me, my friend, about the Space Ghost.
Space Ghost. It's great. It's great. I mean, I feel like I always say that, but I mean, I pick these books for a reason. Like, we pick our favorite of the week. So obviously, yes. I think it's great. But I mean, we started off a new arc kind of on issue 9, like kind of bookended this like first kind of half. So we're kind of starting a new adventure here. And I mean, Propose just does it masterfully. We get the classic kind of like hero faces the dark version of himself. So we get a character called Space Spectre in this. And I'm not going to spoil, like, his identity is kind of a big part of it. Like, who is he, right? And the reveal at the end of, like, when they reveal his identity, like, blew my mind. Not without, it's like, you think you know what it's like. Oh, this is easy. Like I know what this is, which I'm sure you probably are thinking the same thing. But it totally flips it on his head, which I thought was just so smart, a way to kind of flip that classic trope. And then we get a little tease at the end of our good friend Zorak coming back, who he was absolutely insane in his issue, like a cult leader type character. So things are great in this. Not great for Space Ghost, but the book is great. Like we talked about, classic, like old school cartoon vibe, very short 1 to 2 issue arcs. Again, I'll take a million of these. It's so fun.
I was actually just about to ask that for anyone trying to jump in on this and maybe they don't want to read the previous 9 issues.
Just go. Jump
just
in.
Go straight in.
Space Ghost has a bunch of superpowers from his gauntlet. He is joined by Jan and Jace, and along with their monkey Blip, and they go on space adventures. That's what you need to know.
Monkey Blip.
That's Blip's the goat, dude. Blip's the goat.
Oh, by the way, written by David Papose, artist Jonathan Lau, colorist Andrew Delhouse, and letterer Taylor Esposito. Once again, Space Ghost number 10. Go check it out.
Also, go check out our interview with David Papose all about Space Ghost and the new Captain Planet.
Yes, that will be out very soon.
It is out.
It is out?
Yep, that's
out. You're right.
Yes,
it is out.
It is out.
I'm a liar. Keeping up with
Come on, man. Get your stuff together.
It's not. Shit Kickers number 1, written by Joey Esposito, artist Andrea Schiavone, colorist Sabrina Filieri, and letterer Lucas Gattoni. This is a new one. Tell me all about this.
It is a new one. It is a new fun ride from our friend of the show, Joey Esposito, who is also the writer of my favorite book from last year, The Pedestrian, which also be on the lookout for interview with him and Sean Von Gorman, where we talk about Shit Kickers. So that'll be coming out very soon. But if you like Pedestrian, you're gonna like this. It's not the same vibe at all, but it has that same level of fun, excitement. This, I would say, even takes it a step above, because we're following this guy, the guy here on the right, kind of young Peter Quill almost style character, joins this like space cop force. They're typical, guardians of the spaceways kind of thing, and he's like grew up on action movies. He like wants to be this cop, exciting cop, and he gets roped into this adventure with this older cop, and he kind of brings her along unwillingly. She's like, I'm done with this, and they get roped into this big adventure. And it's so fun, dude. It's only I think the first issue you can go back on, I think Kickstarter. I don't think it's Kickstarter actually, but check out our interview and you can find the exact place where you can check this out. But yeah, it is really fun. If you like sci-fi, space adventure, something a little bit more tongue-in-cheek, like that's, intentionally silly and goofy, but also action, you'll like this. And again, Joey Esposito is a fantastic writer. Shout out also Andrea Schiavone. I hope I'm saying that right. But the art is also, it just fits that vibe really well, like the kind of cartoony, more whimsical. So yeah, I really recommend people checking this out and go back this.
Classic comic book with classic comic book tropes, doing classic comic book things, You got me on. It's a good time. That's it for our reviews this week. That was quick. I posted this. I know. I posted this in the League of Comic Geeks community, which, by the way, is a blast. I actually really been enjoying it.
I've never done that.
It's actually quite enjoyable. I'm testing the waters a little bit, but I do enjoy it. It's one of those weeks where you don't have a lot this week. And even on my list, I include Chip Zdarsky's Comic News, which is like a free newsletter, by the way, if you're not reading that. Hilarious, like downright hoot and holler hilarious, as we have dubbed here on this show. Not a heavy week for me. We will be bringing back the Hexiles next week. I promise you that. We're a few issues behind.
But that's Cullen Bunn, right?
Yes, that's We'll be bringing that back next week, catching everyone up on what's been going on over there. And also the big one, though, Absolute Superman and X-Men continue the X-Man hunt. But as I said, it's one of those weeks where I don't have a lot because the week after that, it's one of those 10 pull bangers.
Dang,
One
I
of
feel like
those,
I'm
TJ.
missing stuff. I only, according to this, I only have 2 issues coming out,
See?
but
But
that's
then look
got
at
to be
next week.
wrong.
But look at next week after
Next week
that.
I only have 3.
The week after that?
Yeah, I would say something's wrong here.
Good time for you to catch up then.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna send you a picture of all my comics I had because I literally have them right next to me right now, but they're in a bag, so I'm not putting them up. But which again, I feel like this could be wrong, but supposedly Space Ghost 11 is
I
coming out
saw
next week,
that too, yeah.
so that's kind of
Maybe.
strange. I mean, they're usually once a month, I think.
Mhm.
So don't know what's going on there, but that's exciting because again, I love Space Ghost, and then X-Men number 13.
Yeah.
And again, maybe there has to be something I'm missing in here, but
Absolute Superman, you're absolutely missing.
oh yeah, I am getting that too. I have I think it's 3 or 4 sitting right next to me. That
Get
was
caught up.
that and Absolute Wonder Woman are next on my
Oh,
list.
oh, absolute Wonder Woman. That last issue. Absolutely get
You
caught
know,
up.
I love it.
Get caught up. Quick thoughts, TJ. Tell me, did you enjoy that episode of Daredevil Born Again? The 2 episode premiere.
Oh, yes, I loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it. Can we talk spoilers or
I'll say this. We'll talk about it very, very quickly.
I
Very
won't, okay, I
quickly.
won't say it,
So
but I'll just
I'll
say
say this.
okay.
If you don't want spoilers, we'll see you next week. This has been your spoiler warning. TJ, go ahead.
Okay, I was so pissed they freaking killed Foggy, dude. I was like, no, first episode. I
First
think I think
12
he's
minutes,
coming back.
baby.
Yeah, maybe. And he's like, trim and got a beard now. I'm like, come on, dude, you can't take out Riz Foggy. But I think he'll be back for sure. I just saw that he's confirmed for season 2. So unless he's like,
Shout out Phase Hero for that.
yes, shout out Phase
Hero.
Hero, yes. Sorry, but I either if he's gonna come back as a consciousness of Matt, like he like sees him and talks to him or whatever. I don't care. I just want him to come back. But other than that, it was so good. Bullseye is so good. The stuff with Kingpin, we talk about this with the Ultimates all the time. I love the you know what I'm talking about. The
Real world
parallels.
elements. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
that's a good way to put it. The real world elements. I love that. And I above all though, I think I was just so happy in those first like 2-3 minutes of just like seeing them together on the street. I mean, if anyone watched those original 10 years ago, which is crazy, it's just like at least for me, I never thought Daredevil was going to come back. I thought after, the Netflix came under the MCU, like we were going to get a new Daredevil. And like, yeah, that was sad, but like I kind of accepted it. So to see this whole progression over the years of like the show being saved, the actors coming back, like the show going into production, like everything, and then finally just like seeing them together, and they're like, oh yeah, like it's a evolution or so, like very meta commentating on like them being back. It was so great to see. It made my heart really happy.
The second I saw them walk out of the building, I was like, "Oh God, he's a goner." Because you know exactly if you read a single scoop of Daredevil comics, you know Matt's life can't be happy for more than 3 pages.
No, it's same with Spider. He's like similar to Spider-Man. Just
Yes,
he
it is.
always has to be in tragedy.
Yes, he is. It was a great first 2 episodes. I'm really looking forward to more. There is the thing people are talking about, and we'll talk about it because we're comic book people. The 468, The Secret Life of Foggy Nelson. Little nod. Personally, I hope Foggy stays dead, because
They were opposite here.
it makes it mean something. All of this, it makes it mean something. Also, as someone who's read a lot of Daredevil comics, those two are always mad at each other. It's more
That's
often
true.
that those two are in like the crosshairs of each other's like little pettiness. Deep down, they love each other. They're best friends. But there's so much like anger towards and animosity towards each other, like more often than not. So I would say if they do the whole like faking his death, he comes back, That's just gonna bring it back, and I'm just like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah, I love Foggy. I love the funny best friend character. Like I told me and my girlfriend were watching. She hasn't watched the original, which we're actually watching right now. She enjoyed the first two episodes so much we are going back. But I told her, I was like, this is basically if like they killed Ned in Spider-Man, like just like murdered Ned in like the
Yeah,
first 5 minutes of the next Spider-Man.
yeah, yeah, and for MCU Spider-Man, yeah, you're not
Yeah, that's
wrong.
what I mean. MCU Spider-Man. Like, it's just like, why? No.
Not wrong. You're not wrong. If you want more of this chatter, you can check our live reaction show every Tuesday immediately after the show finishes. So it's about an hour after 9 p.m. So 10 p.m. Eastern Time. There's 1 week where you get another double whammy. So that'll be another 11 p.m. Eastern Time start. I promise I'll talk a little louder. I was tired. I'm sorry. It was a long day. But if you want more of that chatter, feel free. Join the chat. Join it all. TJ, I know we have more Invincible stuff. What else we got coming up?
Oof. Well, Invincible, obviously. We just recorded our episode today for episode 7, The Invincible War. I don't know. I don't have any way to prove this, but I think I've written more Invincible articles than anyone else on the internet this season. So you can go check that out on CBR. Just search up my name. You can find that. And also, we have some exciting interviews coming as well. We have, like I mentioned during the show, Joey Esposito and Sean Von Gorman. That's going to be coming out. We reconvene all about the pedestrian now that it's done. Talk about Joey Esposito's shit kickers. And also, something I'm very excited about is Sean Von Gorman is teaming up with rapper Esso from Czarface, if anyone is a fan of them, and they're coming out with a new book. So you can hear all about that. And also Jeremy Adams, writer of the Green Lantern and Aquaman. We had a really, really fun discussion all about the new DC universe, a Green Lantern, what's going to be coming with Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
So exciting stuff, man. Exciting stuff.
Exciting stuff indeed. That'll do it for this issue of the Comic Corner. As always, you all go support your local comic shops. And if you order a book at your local comic shop, go pick it up. Come on. Come on. I'm looking at all of you. I'm looking at all of you. That'll do it for this issue. As always,